요즘 국악 플레이리스트로 꾸며드리고 있는 오늘의 국악 콘서트판. 이번 무대는 판소리의 전통을 지키고 있는 신진원 씨의 무대를 만나볼 텐데요. 여러분의 행복을 기원하는 비나리를 준비했습니다. 비나리는 복을 빌어준다는 좋은 뜻 때문인지 요즘 아주 다양한 느낌으로 재창작되고 있죠. 그중에서 이 신진원 씨의 비나리는 또 어떤 느낌을 줄까요? 자, 신진원의 비나리 만나보시죠.
하! 얼쑤! 한개 여자하고 하나리요 집여것 땅 생길 제국 태민한 범연자 시화연풍 돌아들고 이씨 한양 등극시 삼각산 기봉하고 봉황이 생겼구나. 봉황 눌러 대궐 짓고 대궐 앞에는 육조로다. 오영문 하각산에 각도가급을 마련할지 망심리 정용이요 동구만리백호로다. 청남산 한산 되고 과천 관악산 화산이 비쳐 동작강 수금하고 한강수 둘러싸니 여천지무궁이라. 원하는 금여 찬대 자일은 사바세계 남섬은 다 부주로다. 해동은 대한민국 각대 각가정에 1년 도액 없으겠소냐. 1년 도액을 풀고 가자. 청월에 드는 액은 2월 영등 막아내고 2월에 드는 액은 3월이라 삼진날 연자 초리로 막아내고 3월에 드는 액은 갑인 4월 초파일날 석가열의 부처님의 관등불로 막아내고 4월에 드는 액은 5월이라 단오명절 동기 홍상미인들이 오락가락 추천하던 그네줄로 막아내고 5월에 드는 액은 6월이라 여둔날 대성소리로 막아내고 6월에 드는 액은 7월이라 칠석일날 현우직녀 상봉일이요 오작교 다리 놓던 까치머리로 막아내고 7월에 드는 액은 8월이라 한가위날 오려송편을 많이 빚어서 이웃집으로 나누어주던 생산국으로 막아내고 8월에 드는 액은 9월이라 9일날 국한응주 많이 빚어서 이웃새님 모셔다가 서당 차례로 막아내고 9월에 드는 액은 10월의 상달이라 좋고 좋은 날가리여서 오사시르로 막아내고 10월에 드는 액은 동짓달 동짓날 동지 팥죽정이 쓰워 금상의 부인 마마 양손에 복터 들고 중문대문 나들며 이리저리로 껴트리니 오는 잡기 가는 잡기 뜨거운 팥죽 뒤집어 쓰고 햇색 없다 잘 나간다. 동짓달 드는 액은 헛달에 금은날이요 떡가래로 막아내고 헛달에 드는 액은 내년 정월 열날날 오곡밥 정이지요 한 장에 붉은 가라 막걸리 한 잔이 찐쳐서 원탕천리로 소멸한 건국원명이 대가죽 만사가 대기라고 백사가 여이라고 막득과 잡둔 대로 소원성 사론이라.
우리 음악의 다양한 모습을 소개하고 있는 국악 콘서트판. 오늘은 지금 우리 곁에 있는 국악, 요즘 국악을 보내드렸습니다. K-팝과 만난 국악, 어린이들의 무대, 그리고 젊은 국악인들이 펼친 이 시대의 젊은 국악도 감상해 보셨는데요. 오늘은 내일의 거울이라는 말이 있죠. 오늘 이 시간을 통해서 미래의 우리 음악을 상상해 볼 수 있는 그런 시간이었고요. 또 더욱 사랑받을 우리 음악을 기대해 보겠습니다. 자, 오늘의 마지막 무대는 아침에 피어오르는 아지랑이라는 뜻을 가진 조애가 준비를 하고 있는데요. 이 조애는 전통음악의 토대 위에 자신들의 음악적 색깔과 감성을 쌓아서 차근히 성장하겠다라는 포부를 가지고 있고요. 우리 악기 가야금의 다양한 감성을 탐구해서 새로운 가능성을 찾아가고 있습니다. 견우와 직녀 설화를 소재로 만든 은하수 7석 감상하시면서요. 저는 여기서 인사드리겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
How to survive in Korea. One room. So, you're surviving in Korea. If you've signed a contract for a one room, obviously you're a pro. But the real deal begins now. Step 1. Housewarming. No need to buy toilet paper, diffusers or hand soap. You'll get them soon enough as housewarming gifts. And some are bound to pile up. There's nothing better to serve your guests than milpaeyu nabe. If you have Korean friends coming over, don't forget the extra garlic. Step 2. Garbage disposal. With great power comes great responsibility. You've had a good time, so let's get to work. It might be tempting to sweep everything into a trash can, but you have to separate your garbage. Not bothered? Beware that negligence is punished with a fine or public humiliation. Step 3. Drying rack. You're excited to live alone in Korea, but the fate of these items, hanger, storage, or a hanger. Go get fresh coffee outside. Jogging doesn't cost anything, and nothing beats instant rice. But keep one item around so that you don't get too lonely. Step 4. Pros of living alone. No mum. Cons of living alone. No mum. A new towel doesn't magically appear. You have to do the laundry regularly. If anyone gives a towel as a souvenir, take it. Get rid of mold immediately. Don't be lazy with the vacuum cleaner. Housework is an endless affair. Overwhelmed? Give your mum a call and thank her for everything she's done. Did you survive in your one room? Wait, you have an unwanted visitor. Call someone you fancy. Could be the right person for the job.
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to a special edition of The Culture Wave as we mark episode 300 today on Christmas Eve. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. 2025 was a year we introduced an abundance of K-culture topics, from K-entertainment to K-food, K-beauty, K-travel, K-everything. Hallyu is expanding, no doubt. But still, among all those Ks, K-pop still seems to be in the lead. This year was no exception. In fact, 2025 was another landmark year in the world of K-pop. So first, here's a look back at K-pop in 2025.
K-pop in 2025, a year of global momentum. Where to start? Why not with BTS? With all members of the K-pop sensation released from military service, anticipation for a full group comeback next year remains as strong as ever. But even during their hiatus, if you can even call it one, the 7 boys strengthened their artistic identities through solo projects. From 방탄소년단 to other 소년s, or kids, Stray Kids further cemented their status as K-pop leaders with 8 consecutive #1 albums on the Billboard 200, and their record-breaking world tour Dominate, selling fiercely around the world. And who dominated both Billboard and the UK singles chart this year? Blackpink's Rosé with 아파트 featuring Bruno Mars. Game Start was in October 2024, but 아파트's success did not let up in 2025, earning 3 major Grammy nominations and making Rosé the first K-pop artist to win 2 MTV Video Music Awards. Fellow Blackpink member Jennie continued to gain global recognition as a solo artist and a cultural icon, while girl groups like Twice, who celebrated their 10th anniversary, IVE, aespa, and Le Sserafim remained a driving force as well. 2025 also saw a fresh wave of rookie groups debut from Korea's top agencies, including JYP's Kickflip, HYBE's Cortez, and SM Entertainment's Hearts to Hearts. Fictional K-pop girl group Huntrix, from the most-watched Netflix film ever and their global hit Golden, earned golden recognition with multiple Grammy Award nominations and a huge presence on major charts for months.
Pop music is a universal language, I think. Power of everyone singing the melodies. Uniting everyone from different races, different cultures together is such a beautiful, great thing, good experience.
K-pop moved beyond entertainment to function as a form of national representation and cultural diplomacy, with its presence at the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting in Gyeongju through G-Dragon's performance at the official state dinner and RM addressing global CEOs.
K-pop success didn't happen because one single culture was better. K-pop success came from respecting diversity and embracing royal cultures, but still holding on to Korea's unique identity.
The South Korean government is emphasizing the future potential of K-pop and Korean content more than ever before.
가장 한국적인 것이 가장 세계적인. 우리 자신감을 가져도 된다니까.
네, 물론.
그래도 우리 새 정부의 주요 산업 발전 전략 중에 문화 산업 발전이 들어 있어요. 실제로. 저는 이거 거의 엄청난 문화적 그냥 가능성 가지고 있다. 가능성이 매우 높다.
Rather than being defined by a single hit or artist, 2025 proved K-pop's continued growth and global relevance. As the new year approaches, K-pop remains at the forefront of Hallyu, connecting cultures and audiences around the world.
As you just saw, K-pop in 2025 once again proved its powerful global presence, from Billboard achievements and global concert tours to rookie groups and the rise of solo artists. Today, we've prepared a special year-end discussion to look back at the moments that truly defined K-pop in 2025. So let me introduce our special guests today. First, joining us in the studio here on my right is music critic Kim Young-dae, who provides a lot of in-depth analysis on the ever fast evolving music scene, the K-pop scene. Welcome, Young-dae.
Thank you for inviting me. It's always good to be here, and I'm looking forward to the conversation of this year's K-pop and achievements. Yeah.
Looking forward. And here on the left, we have Kevin Kim. Very delighted to welcome you to the program. Kevin is a member of 제국의 아이들 or ZEA, and he's going to provide lots of personal experience as a K-pop artist himself. Welcome.
Hi guys, glad to be here. I'm a member of ZEA, 제국의 아이들. I'm Kevin. Nice to meet you all.
Happy to have you. And now joining us remotely from New York is Jeff Benjamin, our regular K-pop expert and columnist for Billboard, who closely follows K-pop's movement in the global market. Great to have you back, Jeff.
Great to be here. I'm glad everyone got the white memo. We're all in
I know.
Christmas white.
Why didn't anyone tell me? It looks like I kind of represent Christmas and you the snowflakes. So very wintry and very year-end vibe that we're having today. And today, together, we will revisit the highlights of K-pop in 2025. Now, the scenes that fans love the most and also the emerging trends leading to 2026. So let's get down to business and let's start with Young-dae. So first of all, it was a very busy year in the world of K-pop. So the three of you are all connected to this field. So let's hear one by one how you have been throughout the year. Young-dae, first you please.
I mean, it was one of the busiest years in K-pop. That means, you know, I've been pretty busy, you know, doing a lot of different things, but mostly covering the achievements of K-pop idols and K-pop demon hunters. And personally, I finished my book and recently published it. So that's the part of my, you know, busiest schedule these days.
Right, The Songwriters, if I'm correct, is the title. And yes, I mean, K-pop experts get busy when K-pop gets busy. So you've been around at many broadcasting stations, I believe, also holding lectures about K-pop.
Right.
Yes, a very busy year for you. And now let's move to Kevin. So how have you been? I know a very big event you were at recently.
Yes, that's right. So I went to Japan. We had a fan meeting. It's been more than a decade since we've been together. So it was been an amazing experience and time with our fans. Yeah.
Wonderful to hear that. And now going over to Jeff. We've had you recently on the show, but tell us the latest about how you have been.
Yeah, it has been, like Young-dae said, an exciting but busy year. Lots of major things happening with K-pop, of course, in the US and globally. And I'm so happy to share that I won an award recently for something I wrote about K-pop for Billboard that got recognized at the National Arts and Entertainment Awards in Los Angeles this month. So very thankful to K-pop for giving me the chance to write about things I love, and thankful to fellow journalists who recognized that as well.
Wow, a big congratulations to you, Jeff.
It's not a book. It's not a book, okay?
Go, Jeff.
All right. Okay, now let's really get down to business. Young-dae, this year was really a year for K-pop.
Right.
Really, K-pop demonstrated how big it is on the global stage. So if you had to choose one defining achievement of 2025 in the world of K-pop, what would that be?
How many hours do we have? Anyway, it seems that we all know the answer. I think it's K-pop demon hunters. There are a lot of different debates and discussions around the K-pop demon hunters, you know, from whether we can say it's Korean thing or K-pop thing or Korean animation. You know, I can talk about it, you know, all night long. But it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal, and the animation itself was fantastic. The song, "The Golden," was the killer. It's a new generation's anthem, like "Let It Go" from Frozen.
Right.
This has become that status. Well, and it's multinational effort, but most importantly, the main character, the music was all created by Korean artists, especially Korean songwriters, and definitely the director, Korean Canadian, who understands and appreciate the true nature of Korean, culture, and she's so passionate about introducing that to the global audience. So this is not literally K-culture or Hallyu, but the overall impact, it's for us, like for Korean, it's like a free promotion, just one single hit of the movie, but it's all so encompassing, It has foods, culture, music. The story is great. You can like predict the future of K-pop, like the character-based, story-based music. It's the present, but at the same time, it can be a future of K-pop and what K-culture should be in the future.
Exactly. Now let's turn to Kevin here. You just recently came back from your fan meeting in Japan with your members. So do you feel any difference in the reactions of international fans these days compared to before?
I guess the most biggest change is all of our fans are married. And they have kids now. So, yeah, I mean, they started with us back in 2010. And even now, seeing them, we all teared up, to be honest, because after we kind of like on our way individually, doing our own thing, and then we got back together this time for this special event. And seeing them is just, yeah, we all got emotional, and it was a really great time. But again, seeing them with kids now, that was quite a remarkable scene. Yeah.
I can imagine. And I have to say, although we have new K-pop groups coming out, I don't know, on a monthly basis or so, still you have that robust fan base. Even after all those years, I guess that is why you really felt that those emotions on the stage.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
Right, and now let's turn over to Jeff over in New York. If you were to describe K-pop in 2025 in one keyword, what would it be? Or how would you summarize the overall mood and global trajectory of this year?
Yeah, picking up with what Youngdae said, I think the word I would choose is expansive, in the idea that K-pop expanded to new places, new territories, new rooms that were being introduced to the word K-pop. The fact that K-pop Demon Hunters has the word K-pop in it, it's kind of amazing to me to see things like the Golden Globes recognize K-pop Demon Hunters, or hear that the songs for the movie are being shortlisted for the Academy Awards. We're seeing, artists like EJ and Teddy and all the amazing collaborators on those soundtracks and in the movie be put into rooms and into different spaces that we hadn't really seen before. And I think that's kind of led the way in terms of where K-pop is going in 2025. Even looking at Blackpink's Rosé getting Grammy nominations in those main categories, the fact that Golden and Abatu, two songs with Korean lyrics and cultural themes in them, are recognized in those main categories in the Grammys. I think it just speaks to the ways that K-pop is growing and expanding. And yeah, I would just say that expansive feels like the right word, because it wasn't just even about the music itself, but where K-pop is going. We saw companies like HYBE and JYP and SM Entertainment launch new offices in countries like India, China. HYBE started a Latin American group. SM started a Japanese girl group. There's all these kind of new ways that K-pop is expanding and going into different places. So expansive is my word of the year.
Expansive it is. And now let's go into a little bit more details. Youngdae, this year we saw a lot of narratives and storytellings being very present in K-pop acts. So would there be anything, an artist or a group or a moment that left a strong impression in year 2025 when it comes to that?
Well, I think for a lot of years, from I don't know, at least more than 10 years, 15 years, the narrative, the storylines, the arc and lore have all been, the greatest part of K-pop acts, But we never really pay to that, pay attention to that. For example, like 10 years ago, EXO, as a debut song, they had the hit Mama, The song had great storylines, almost like a superhero movie. They're all like some sort of aliens with superpowers and things like that. But we didn't really know that amount of significance or the kind of like the potential of it. But right now, it was, for us, it's so easy to understand because we all witnessed K-pop Demon Hunters and all other groups with great story building and stuff. So for this year, I mean, I'm not just talking about the big 3 or big 4 groups, but what about the Artemis? They've been, they're like the. Originally they were a Luna, now they're Artemis, but their songs are always packed with a great story and mysteries and the things that we want to discover more, something like that. Or the Close Your Eyes, another, rookie sensation, but their music video always, the song, they have beautiful aspect of literature in it, the title, sometimes it's too long. It's hard to remember, but it's definitely the story field. And of course, K-pop Demon Hunters. And also groups like Cortis, they, what makes them so different is that they make their own stories with their own agenda, with their own experience. And, it's the kind of new beginning of that kind of, story-based. And what about the virtual group like Play? They already started this kind of thing, and it's going to be the kind of thing next year too.
I feel like when it comes to narratives and storytelling, the entertainment agencies and the producers really have to look ahead so that they can continue with the storytelling and plan ahead for the next years. Yeah, it's authenticity and consistency is all about the success of it in that field, because you don't want to all of a sudden new stories, new direction in every different albums or EPs. So you definitely have to keep that kind of consistent story and story arc. Yeah. And Youngdae, you did mention that sometimes it's hard to remember the long names of titles, but I think because we now have a growing fan base around the world, it doesn't always have to be catchy anymore. You can still remember if you're a big fan of K-pop, and you can even remember Korean titles as well. Yeah, absolutely. Right now the competition is too high, so the most important thing is the uniqueness of it. So whether it's the short name or long name, it doesn't really matter right now. And I mean, I was a huge fan of Taeguk의 Idol as well. So one of the titles, for instance, Mazel Tov, that's also a very difficult title, actually, but you still remember it if you have been listening to the song over and over again. And now, Kevin, that turns our attention to you now. You probably have been also following all of the acts these days on Billboard. And also we have even showing growing presentation of K-pop at the Grammy Awards nominations as well. So from an artist's perspective, how do you see this change, and also compared to back when you debuted? That was 15 years ago, right?
That's right. So back in 2010, when we debuted, those years was like for all the idols back then, it was really difficult for us to dream to be on Billboard chart, Grammy Awards, etc. But now I'm so very proud of the younger junior idol groups that they are now hitting, massive hits on the charts. So I would say it's a big change and a big achievement, which we couldn't achieve. So I'm really proud for all the achievements. Yeah.
Right, and Zaya is, if I'm correct, a second generation K-pop group, right? And we are
the similar age.
Yes, that's
so
right.
I can really agree what you're saying as well. And I mean, I lived in Germany a long time ago, and no one knew Korean food, Korean K-pop stars, and now everyone talks about K-pop Demon Hunters and they sing to it. So that is really a proud moment for every Korean, I guess. And speaking of generation, we're going to go over to Jeff now. With the transition now into the so-called fifth generation of idol groups underway over the past couple of years, what changes stood out to you in debut strategies, concepts, or musical genres in 2025?
Definitely a cool year for the next generation. I was on the show not too long ago talking about this new generation of boy bands, and something that hit me from January of this year was just there's a really, really strong roster of new boy groups that came out this year. Boy groups that felt very refreshing, but also very approachable in the ways that they brought out music, whether that was groups like Kickflip from JYP Entertainment or Close Your Eyes, which just got mentioned, bringing kind of new, unexpected sounds, really approachable groups, really fun groups like AHOP or AHOF, and just all these kind of boy bands that are doing something a little bit different, and especially someone like Cordis, who is just so proud and so adamant about the fact that they're creators in their musical story. It's not just about songwriting or producing really, but they are part of the visuals, the music videos, all these different kind of aspects of music. So that was so cool to see. But when we're thinking about rookie groups, of course, we have to talk about the co-ed groups like All Day Project. And I just thought it was so cool to see finally a co-ed group really make kind of that impact from the beginning in the way that All Day Project was able to. And I think it's almost kind of funny because now that we're here at the year end, there's all these year-end award shows, and sometimes they break it up into, you know, best new male artist or best new artist female. And when you have a co-ed group, you can't really put them in one or the other. I've seen some award shows try to do it, but I think it's almost kind of showing just how, you know, unimportant gender might be when it comes to just finding great new artists, great music. And I really am impressed by not only what All Day Project did, but what the Black Label did with this group, what they did on K-Pop Demon Hunters with a group like Meow, what they did with Rosé. I mean, just so many cool things coming out in this time period. So I really feel like this is the time of being approachable, being honest, being more open as artists. And I can only hope that the trend continues, that the industry and the fans continue to support that in that way too, because, you know, I just think it's going to make for a healthier, happier, hopefully, music industry overall. If we can just kind of, you know, let our guards down a bit and be approachable, feel like the artists and fans can really be friends in that way, and not always feel like there's this wall or there's this worry that someday or something might happen that might ruin that relationship. You know, starting with honesty from the beginning is always the best policy.
Right, and Jeff, you mentioned All Day Project, and speaking of gender, I also found it interesting that G-IDE, they changed their name into IDE, so maybe a little less focus on that, you know, we are our girl group, maybe more we are our K-pop group. And yes, it looks like...
I love that you brought up that point. It's such a good idea because it was something Soyeon in particular talked about earlier in the group too, that, you know, she didn't want to necessarily be just, you know, keep the G there for a girl. She always wanted to be a group for everybody. So I love that you brought that up. Thanks for reminding me.
No worries. And yeah, it looks like we are experiencing more and more because everyone is interested in K-culture and K-pop right now. So, Youngdae, there seems to be a notable shift in the strategies by agencies as well.
Right.
So, is there anything interesting that caught your attention this year?
Well, at this point, I think Jeff would agree, but it's so hard to predict. I think it's really unpredictable era, you know. A few years ago, it was all about the girl groups and their identity, you know, the statement kind of thing. Last year and this year, it was all about the boy group going to a new direction, like refreshing kind of, you know, in Korean, Cheongyang vibe, and very like really typical traditional boy bands vibe. All, you know, all of a sudden coming back. But At this point, it is really, really hard to predict because, the one thing that is pretty sure at this point is it should be global. I mean, a few years ago, we still have a dichotomy, like global, local, some groups for Japanese market, some groups for only local market, some groups, just all for international market. But this time, I mean, this year, that kind of boundary has been, already kind of collapsing. And I think whether it's big agency, small agency, the key is to approach the new territory of global market. It should not be just US or Canada or Europe. It could be all the vast amount of Latin music market and all different interesting possibilities. We have Indonesian member in Hearts to Hearts, the new girl groups. So the idea of having international member in a multinational group has been really diverse itself. And the strategy has been really diversified as well. I mean, Jeff mentioned Cortis, but Cortis right now, all the project as well. They're now, at one point there was just performance idol, then there were music idol, like the self-producing idol. But right now, I think it's the era of creator idols. So not just music, composer, producer, but the one that is in charge in all kinds of like a song making, producing, like video editing, and it's like the combining A&R department and PR department and the art department at the same time in one group. I think that kind of thing might be the future of K-pop.
Things are changing fast here in the world of K-pop. Now, Kevin, you, as you mentioned before, you debuted in 2010, and if you count your trainee years, you might have been in the industry for around 2 decades. So what do you think was the biggest change in the K-pop industry?
Well, I might sound old, but there's a huge change. There's a lot of platforms now, online platforms where all the idols can be shown. Back then, there was few platform, very limited platform that we could possibly see. Now they do like shorts, like cover dances, collabs with another art. This is like a new world for me to watch. Back then we couldn't think about collaborating different idol groups. Like for example, like I said, cover dances, cover songs. So I think all these things that we see is a huge change and huge difference from back then, yeah.
Right. The only thing that didn't change, Kevin, is that you just still look like 15 years ago.
Oh, thank you so much.
Isn't this fan meeting or what?
No. Oh, maybe later on after the program. But Jeff, among the teams that rapidly expanded their fandoms or showed remarkable global growth this year, which group do you find most noteworthy, and what do you see as the key factors behind their success?
Yeah, there's so many good ones. I really do want to give it up to Twice this year. I thought Twice, in the conversation of third generation groups, I feel like they've almost been a bit of an underdog despite how much they've achieved and succeeded this year. But really big in part thanks to K-pop Demon Hunters and the fact that their single strategy was included on there. It opened up so many people's ears and eyes to Twice, and strategy was able to be a 10-week single on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Before then, Twice had some hits on there, but none that had lasted that long by far. And also, it gave them new opportunities to go on things like the Victoria's Secret's fashion show, which is really kind of like a who's who and who's really hot in terms of a lot of singers. Last year, Lisa from Blackpink went there. So it was so cool to see Twice get some great opportunities, kick off a new world tour that already has multiple dates sold out, and also do this while celebrating their 10-year anniversary. I just really think that Twice hit a really cool moment this year, and I'm really proud of them. I also want to mention Taemin, because Taemin had a really big year this year. doing his first solo world tour. And he didn't do it with, you know, a humongous partner like Live Nation or AEG. He did do it with a smaller promoter in that way. But this tour sold out almost automatically, especially in the US. And it actually was the reason, because it was just so impressive, that he was able to get a spot on Coachella 2026. And I really think that speaks to just the artist he is, the great showman he is, and just all the amazing things that he was able to do by really going for it and really just finally taking his chance with a solo world tour. He hadn't done that, and oh my God, he's almost been around for 20 years as well, like, which is so amazing. The fact that, you know, it wasn't just him, it was so many, you know, artists really going for it in that way.
I know, we could go on and on. We have so many big achievements this year, but I'm glad that Jeff mentioned Twice, because Youngdae, you actually had a very special discussion on the future of K-pop here at Arirang TV with members of Twice, along with President Lee Jae-myung. So we did talk about this before, just briefly now. What was your biggest impression during that discussion?
That's the way I've been introduced to the audience recently. And,
right.
Oh, you're the one with the president. Okay, so we cover a lot of like different things in a very short amount of time. We definitely talked about the impact of K-pop Demon Hunters and what kind of like potential of K-pop in the future. Oh, by the way, when Jeff and I were talking about Twice when we first met, you know, decades ago, but we were still talking about Twice in 2025. That's something amazing, and because I mean, second generation still have a chance and very relevant. But what we discussed during for that event was now it should not be just animation or single music. It should be all inclusive, like you know, all encompassing, like I said before. So just let's keep this like a momentum in other fields. President Lee Jae-myung especially emphasized the power of food, K-food, because food is so universal. And K-musical these days, and the language is so important, because the language is the kind of like a glue that connects all the different arts and medias, especially for foreigners. So yeah, so I think from now on, well, we kind of stopped using the word Hallyu before, but right now Hallyu is actually coming back, because it is not just K-pop, K-movie, K-drama. It's all K-culture these days. So I think that's the thing. So we really wanted to emphasize the power of the creators. Like K-pop Demon Hunter, it's not just a movie. It's behind the scene, we have so many amazing songwriters, performers, choreographers. So I think that should be the project, future project. So making a lot of like relevant and capable creators for this business, and that's going to be the thing that we should really, keep in mind.
All right, and looking ahead then toward 2026, Jeff, are there any upcoming shifts in the global market or artists that we should keep an eye on?
I mean, I really do think Cordis is the one to watch, and I'm going to make a big prediction, first time here in Arirang, but I think they're going to have a #1 album in the US. Maybe not in 2026, but I do think they're going to really make an impact and be able to get that #1 album in the future, because like Youngdae said, I do think that this is where K-pop is going. They, artists who can have more control, more ownership, feel more part of their music. And I think that's a growing trend that we're seeing just in general. The fact that, and anyone can pick up their phone and record music or share themselves doing different things is just so influential in the way that anyone creates these days. And I think it's going to impact K-pop in that same way. So I really think that that's going to be just something to really watch, really hold on to. And I'm sure that Cordis will be leading the way in the trend for other K-pop groups as well. So that's my big thing. I think I'm going to be watching, because it's not just about K-pop. I think this is happening globally as well.
Okay, thanks for that forecast. We're going to keep that in mind. And now, Kevin, What was the most memorable moment for you in year 2025? And also, could you share us your personal plans or goals for next year or the years ahead?
I would say definitely the fan meeting, the recent fan meeting in Japan. It was most memorable time for me. For next year, we were actually, all of our members were talking, maybe coming back as of 9. But we gotta figure it out how and when. We're still talking, but I cannot make any promises. But hopefully, maybe next year, maybe with a new album, maybe an event. Hope to be back as a 9. That's one of my goals.
So many fans will be looking forward to that. I'm going to cross my fingers for that to happen,
Okay.
Kevin.
Thank you.
So my next question goes to both Youngdae and Jeff. Let's start with Jeff. How do you think 2025 will be remembered in the history of K-pop, and what are you looking forward to the most in the years ahead? I mean, you did mention Chorus, but maybe anything else?
Yeah, I think, 2025, I think, is the year that K-pop really did become global in that way. I know that word is used a lot, and sometimes it's almost like, I feel like it's this crutch, or it's something that everyone wants to, say without a lot of proof. But I think you can really show the different ways that K-pop really did go global this year. I mean, K-pop Demon Hunters has won awards around the world, in France, in the US, in Korea, and in Asia. It's just been all over kind of a sensation in that way. And Netflix, a global platform, the #1 movie ever watched there. So I think it's definitely going to be remembered in sort of this more global way, in the idea that, K-pop didn't just stay in one place, or it wasn't just about one area or one specific group, one song. It was about, all these different things coming together, looking at things like the success of Appa 2, or you see someone like Cat's Eye coming from the K-pop model and going, a truly global in that way, with a global girl group and different countries that they all came from in that way. And just seeing the way that, HYBE is establishing groups in Latin America, and there's HYBE China and India now. Just all these things, I think, are really saying that, K-pop really has earned that title for being global. And I think it's just going to keep growing in 2026, and hopefully in just really healthy, exciting, and fun ways.
Oh, so much potential. Now, just quickly, you want to add something to that, Youngdae, please?
I think it's going to be remembered as the year of Honmun.
Oh,
Back in '88, the Koreana singing the anthem of Olympic Games, like hand in hand, talking about breaking down the wall that come between us for all time. Now it's finally realized in a global manner. So it's definitely a year of K-pop, especially the year of K-pop becoming finally not just global, but being a mainstream.
well, that's going to wrap up our special edition today. This was not just informative, it was also very touching. So thank you very much. First off, thank you, Youngdae, for coming in today.
Thank you. I'll be back.
Yes, you'll be back, of course. And thank you, Kevin. I wish the best for that to come back and update us on anything that's coming up.
Of course. Thank you.
And thank you, Jeff. As always, we're going to see you back in 2026.
See everyone in 2026. Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to all of you as well. Thank you. And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. We'll be back with our regular program after Christmas on Friday at 2 p.m. Korea time. See you then, and Merry Christmas.
백신만 켤레 판매의 신화 티바트 아티브 오지입니다. 가장 큰 장점은 에너지 흡수율입니다. 에너지 흡수율을 10%에서 20%가 보통인데 저희 신발은 37.5%나 잡았어요. 각각 탄성이 다른 니트 소재를 믹스 매치해서 잘 맞는 옷을 입은 듯한 착 떨어지는 느낌을 신발에서 구현했습니다.
Wings for your feet. Special benefits only from Ballop. First contender. Ballop Tivet Artivo OG.